Welcome back to the Artificial Fluency Podcast. I'm Mia. In today's episode, we're going to practice some easy conversations in English that you can use in your everyday life. As you listen, you will improve both your listening and writing skills by hearing real-life stories and examples. So if you're ready to learn how to speak English naturally, press that like button, and let's get started. Before we dive into our conversation practice, let me ask you a couple of questions. Have you ever had a simple chat with someone about your day? Maybe a quick conversation with a friend or a colleague? Or perhaps you've had to talk about your plans for the weekend with your husband or wife. These are exactly the kinds of conversations we'll focus on today. Now imagine you're talking to your friend Sarah and she asks you how your day went. Here's how a simple conversation might go. Sarah: Hey Natasha, how was your day today? Natasha: Oh, it was pretty good. I woke up early and had a nice breakfast with my husband. We had eggs and toast, and it was so relaxing. After that, I went to work, and the day went by quickly. How about you? You see how easy that sounds? It's natural, simple, and friendly. You can use this kind of small talk with anyone, whether it's a friend, a colleague, or even someone you just met. The key to mastering conversations like these is practice, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Now let's practice another situation. Imagine you're at the grocery store and you bump into a neighbor. You both stop to chat for a minute. Neighbor: Hi Natasha, I haven't seen you in a while. How's everything? Natasha: Hey, everything's good, just busy with work, but I finally found some time to do some shopping. What about you? How's your family? This is another example of an everyday conversation. The goal here is to make your English sound natural and fluid, just like you would in your own language. So when you practice, try to imagine these situations happening in your real life. Let's switch gears a little bit. Suppose you're talking to your husband about plans for the weekend. Here's how that might go. Natasha: So, honey, what do you think about going hiking this weekend? Husband: That sounds great. I'd love to get outside and enjoy the fresh air. What time do you want to go? Natasha: How about Saturday morning? We can have breakfast together and then head out. These types of conversations are simple but essential. They help you practice speaking in a natural, comfortable way. And remember, the more you practice these everyday scenarios, the better you'll become at speaking English confidently. All right, now let's talk about another common situation, discussing plans with a coworker. Imagine you're talking to your colleague John. Hey Natasha, do you have any plans for the holidays? Natasha: Not much actually. I'm planning to visit my parents and maybe we'll go out to dinner. What about you? John: I'm thinking of taking a short trip with my wife to the mountains. It should be fun. In this conversation, you're using a casual tone, asking questions and sharing information about your plans. It's a great example of how to keep things light and friendly while practicing English. As you listen to these examples, think about how you can use these conversations in your own life. You might be surprised how often you'll find yourself in situations where these kinds of simple, everyday conversations happen. Let's continue with another everyday situation. This time, imagine you're at work and your manager, Mr. Thomas, asks you about your progress on a project. Mr. Thomas: Hi Natasha, how is the report coming along? Natasha: Hello Mr. Thomas, I'm almost done with it. I just need to add a few more details and I'll send it to you by the end of the day. Mr. Thomas: Great. Let me know if you need any help. This kind of short professional conversation is very common in the workplace. Notice how polite and clear the language is. Even when you're speaking at work, it's important to be friendly and respectful. Now let's imagine you're talking to your friend Daniel. You meet him at the park and you have a quick chat. Daniel: Hi Natasha. What a surprise to see you here. Natasha: Hi, Daniel. Yes, I decided to take a short walk after lunch. It's such a nice day, isn't it? Daniel? It really is. I like coming here when the weather is good. It helps me relax. This is another simple and natural conversation. When you're learning English, try practicing short talks like this with a friend, or even in front of a mirror. It helps build confidence and fluency. Now let's talk about a family situation. Imagine you're helping your child with homework. Your daughter Emily asks you a question. Emily. Mom, can you help me with this question? Natasha. Sure, Emily, let me take a look. Oh, this is about math. Okay, first you need to add these two numbers together. Try it and I'll check your answer. Helping your children with homework is a great way to use English at home. Even if you're still learning, speaking English with your family can make you more comfortable and improve your vocabulary. Now, picture yourself visiting a doctor. You have an appointment, and the nurse calls your name. Nurse. Natasha, the doctor will see you now. Please come this way. Doctor? Good morning, Natasha. What brings you in today? Natasha. Good morning, doctor. I've been having a sore throat for a few days, and I just wanted to get it checked. In this kind of conversation, it's important to be clear and describe how you feel. Learning simple health-related words and phrases will help you speak better when visiting the doctor. Let's try another role play. Imagine you're at a bakery and you're buying bread. Baker. Good morning. What can I get for you today? Natasha? Hi. I'd like 1 loaf of whole wheat bread and 2 butter rolls, please. Baker. Of course. Would you like anything else? Natasha? No, thank you. That's all for today. See how simple and polite this conversation is? When you practice these real-life conversations, you learn how to speak naturally in different situations. Now imagine your neighbor, Mr. Robert, comes by to borrow a tool. Mr. Robert. Hi, Natasha. Sorry to bother you. Do you have a screwdriver I can borrow? Natasha. Hi, Mr. Robert. No problem at all. Let me check the toolbox. Yes, here it is. Just bring it back when you're done. Mr. Robert. Thank you. I'll return it this evening. This is another example of being helpful and kind in everyday situations. These small conversations can really help you feel more comfortable speaking English. Next, let's talk about making an appointment over the phone. You're calling the dentist's office. Receptionist. Good afternoon, Dr. Parker's office. How can I help you? Natasha. Hello, I'd like to make an appointment for a checkup, please. Receptionist. Sure, are you available this Thursday? At 10 a.m.? Natasha. Yes, that works for me. Thank you very much. Making phone calls in English can feel scary at first, but the more you listen and practice, the easier it gets. Just remember to speak slowly and clearly. Let's keep going. Imagine you're meeting your husband at a cafe after work. Natasha? Hi, did you find the place easily? Husband. Yes, it was easy to find. How was your day? Natasha. It was good. Busy but not too stressful. I'm glad we could meet here and relax a bit. These kinds of conversations help you connect with your family and talk about your day. They also help you build vocabulary around daily activities and feelings. Today, I want you to imagine this. It's a Saturday morning and you're at home. You're cleaning the living room when your friend Rachel calls you on the phone. She wants to invite you to a picnic with her family on Sunday. Rachel? Hi, Natasha. I hope I'm not calling at a bad time. Natasha. Hi, Rachel. Not at all. I'm just doing a bit of cleaning. How are you? Rachel. I'm good. I was wondering if you and your husband would like to join us for a picnic tomorrow. Your husband would like to join us for a picnic tomorrow. We're planning to go to the park after lunch. The kids can play and we can relax under the trees. Natasha? That sounds so nice. I'll check with my husband, but I think we're free tomorrow. It's been a long week and a quiet afternoon in the park sounds perfect. Rachel. Great, I'll bring some sandwiches and juice. You can bring something small too if you'd like, maybe some fruit or snacks. Natasha. Sure, I can bring some apples and biscuits. What time should we meet? Rachel. How about 1 p.m.? That should give us time to eat and enjoy the sunshine. Natasha. Perfect, I'll see you then. Thanks for the invite, Rachel. Rachel. You're welcome. Looking forward to it. Now, in this conversation, you can notice a few useful things. First, it's a friendly, casual talk. The language is easy, polite, and warm. This is how people speak when making simple plans. You can practice conversations like this with a friend, or even speak them out loud by yourself. Try switching roles. Be Rachel, then be Natasha. This helps you learn both how to invite some. Let's look at another situation. This time you're at home and your son, Ethan, comes back from school. He looks a little tired, so you start a conversation with him. Natasha. Hi, Ethan. Welcome home. How was school today? Ethan. It was okay. I had a math test. I think I did all right, but I'm really tired. Natasha. You've worked hard, I can see that. Why don't you rest for a bit? Then you can tell me more about your day. Ethan. Okay, can I have a snack first? Natasha. Sure. There are some bananas and peanut butter in the kitchen. You can make a sandwich if you want. Ethan. Thanks, Mom. I'll eat and then maybe read my new book. Natasha. That sounds like a great idea. And after dinner, I can help you review your homework if you need. This type of conversation shows how to speak to children in English in a supportive and natural way. It's not too formal, but it's still kind and encouraging. These short daily talks help you practice family vocabulary and improve your confidence in using English with people you care about. Now let's imagine a different moment. You're in the kitchen with your husband. Mark? It's Sunday morning and you're planning the week together while having breakfast. Mark. Do we have anything important this week? Natasha. Yes, I made a list last night. On Monday we have the parent-teacher meeting at Ethan's school. It starts at 4 p.m. On Wednesday we have the dentist appointments at 11 a.m. And on Friday, your cousin David is coming over for dinner. Mark. That's right, I almost forgot about the dinner. Should we cook something at home or order food? Natasha. Let's cook at home. I was thinking about making chicken curry with rice and maybe a salad on the side. What do you think? Mark. That sounds great. Let's make a shopping list today so we don't forget anything. Natasha. Good idea. After breakfast, we can go to the grocery store. I'll write down what we need. Chicken, onions, tomatoes, rice, yogurt, and some fresh herbs. Mark. Perfect. It'll be nice to cook together. See how helpful this kind of conversation is? It's full of everyday English, planning, asking questions, making suggestions, and agreeing on ideas. These are the kinds of conversations that happen in almost every home, and they're great for improving your speaking and listening skills. Now let's try one more real-life situation. This time, you are at the office. You're having a short meeting with your coworker, David. You're working together on a small project and need to divide the tasks. David. Hi, Natasha. I looked at the list of things we need to finish. It's a bit long, but I think we can manage it. Natasha. Yes, I think so too. I already wrote the summary report for last week's progress. You can check it later if you want. David. That's helpful. I can work on the spreadsheet this afternoon. I just need the numbers from the last 3 days. Natasha. I have them right here. I'll email them to you in a few minutes. Do you want me to review the report before we send it to the manager? David. Yes, please. A second look is always helpful. Let's aim to finish everything by tomorrow afternoon. Natasha. Agreed. I'll keep you updated if anything changes. In this conversation, the English is polite and professional. These phrases are useful when working with colleagues, especially when you need to plan or complete a task together. If you work in an office or even online, try to practice similar conversations. Let's keep going. This time, we'll go deeper into daily conversations and stories that can help you feel more comfortable with real English. These are the kinds of talks people have every day, with family, neighbors, co-workers, and friends. Listen carefully and try to imagine yourself in these situations. You can repeat the sentences, speak them out loud, and practice writing down what you hear to improve both your listening and writing skills. Let's begin with a story about Sarah. She's a mother of 2 kids, and she works part-time at a bakery. One Monday morning, she wakes up early and prepares breakfast. Sarah. Good morning, kids. Time to wake up. Emily. Mom, can I sleep for 5 more minutes? Sarah. Just 5 minutes, okay? Then come down for breakfast. Daniel. What's for breakfast today, Mom? Sarah. I made toast, eggs, and bananas. Eat quickly. We don't want to be late for school. After breakfast, Sarah drops the kids at school and heads to work. At the bakery, she greets her co-worker, James. James. Morning, Sarah. How was your weekend? Sarah. It was busy but nice. We went to the park on Sunday. How about you? James. Pretty quiet. I stayed home and cleaned the house. Are you ready for a busy day? Sarah. Always. Let me wash my hands and I'll help with the muffins. This kind of friendly workplace talk helps you learn useful words and short questions. You can see how Sarah talks to her children at home and how she speaks differently at work. Practicing. Both types of conversation helps you become more flexible in your English. Now let's move to another story. This time it's about John. He's a teacher who lives in a small town. One day his neighbor Mr. Miller knocks on his door. Mr. Miller. Good morning, John. Sorry to bother you so early. John. No problem at all, Mr. Miller. Is everything okay? Mr. Miller. Yes, I just wanted to ask if you're free. This afternoon, I need some help with my garden. My back has been hurting lately. John. Of course, I'd be happy to help. What time should I come over? Mr. Miller. Around 4 p.m. if that works for you. John. That's perfect. I'll see you then. Later that day, John visits Mr. Miller's house. They work together for about an hour. After that, they sit down for tea and talk. Mr. Miller. Thank you, John. I really appreciate your help. John. It's my pleasure. I enjoy gardening and it's always good to get some fresh air. Mr. Miller. You know, I've lived in this neighborhood for 30 years. It's nice to see younger people like you taking time to help. John. Thank you, Mr. Miller. It's important to support each other. Now this story teaches us more than just English. It shows kindness, community, and simple everyday help. And in the conversation, we learn many useful phrases: offering help, thanking someone, and planning a time. Let's move to another situation. This time, it's about Lisa. Lisa is a nurse, and she's talking with her husband, Tom, in the evening. Tom. How was your shift today? Lisa. It was long. We had a lot of patients. I didn't even sit down until after lunchtime. Tom. That sounds tiring. Do you want to rest now? Lisa. Yes, I'll take a quick shower first. Then maybe we can eat dinner together. Tom. I already made some rice and chicken. Just heat it up when you're ready. Lisa. You cooked? That's so sweet. Thank you, Tom. Tom, you work so hard. I wanted to help a little. Lisa, that means a lot. After dinner, maybe we can talk about our weekend plans. This is another type of everyday talk between husband and wife at home. The words are simple, caring, and real. You can practice these conversations to learn how to talk about your day, offer support, and plan time together. Now let's hear about David. He's a shopkeeper. One morning, a regular customer named Anna visits his store. Anna. Good morning, David. David. Good morning, Anna. Nice to see you. How can I help you today? Anna. I need some fresh vegetables. Do you have any spinach? David. Yes, we just got some this morning. Would you like a small or large bunch? Anna. A small one, please, and also 2 onions and a few tomatoes. David. Sure. Let me pack those for you. Anything else? Anna. That's all for today. David. All right. That will be 5 pounds. Anna. Here you go. Thank you. David. Thank you, Anna. Have a lovely day. This is a short shopping conversation, but it's full of useful phrases. How can I help you? Would you like anything else? These are the kinds of expressions you can hear and use when you go shopping in English-speaking places. Practicing them helps you feel more confident in talking to shopkeepers or people in stores. Next, let's go to a school setting. Jenny is a student, and she's talking with her teacher, Mr. Roberts, after class. Jenny. Excuse me, Mr. Roberts, can I ask a question? Mr. Roberts. Of course, Jenny. What's your question? Jenny. I didn't understand part of the homework. Number 5 was a bit confusing. Mr. Roberts. Let's look at it together. It's the one about comparing numbers, right? Jenny. Yes, I wasn't sure how to write the answer. Mr. Roberts. You need to use the word greater or less than to compare. Let's try it together. Jenny. Oh, I see now. Thank you so much. Mr. Roberts. You're welcome. Never hesitate to ask questions. That's how we learn. This conversation is useful for school or class settings. You learn how to ask questions politely, how to say you didn't understand something, and how to respond kindly when helping someone. These are very helpful skills for anyone learning English. Let's do one more for now. Imagine you're walking in your neighborhood and see your neighbor Helen watering her plants. Natasha. Hi, Helen. The flowers look beautiful today. Helen. Thank you, Natasha. I've been taking extra care of them this spring. Natasha. What's your secret? Mine never bloom like that. Helen. I water them every morning and give them natural plant food once a week. Natasha. That's a great tip. I might try that. Which flowers are these? Helen. These are marigolds and petunias. They love the sun. Natasha. I'll stop by the garden shop later and get some from my yard too. Helen. Good idea. And if you ever need help, just let me know. These types of chats help you learn how to start a friendly conversation, how to give compliments, and how to learn from others. These small talks are powerful tools for growing your English skills. Let's continue exploring more everyday conversations, focusing on simple, real-life English that you can use in your daily life. By listening carefully to these stories and practicing the sentences, you will improve both your listening and writing skills. The goal is to help you feel comfortable using English in many situations, from speaking with neighbors to chatting with coworkers. Let's start with a story about a man named Tom. He's an office worker who lives in a busy city. One morning, he's running a little late, but he still has time to stop at his favorite coffee shop on his way to work. When he walks in, he greets the barista, Sarah. Tom. Good morning, Sarah. How are you today? Sarah. Good morning. Tom, I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How about you? Tom. I'm doing all right, but I'm a little late for work today. I need my usual coffee. Sarah. I've got it ready for you already. One black coffee, right? Tom. Yes. Thanks, you're always quick. Sarah. It's my job. Have a good day at work, Tom. Tom. Thanks, Sarah, you too. In this conversation, we hear how people greet each other in the morning. Even if you're busy, you can still make small talk with the people around you. Practicing this type of conversation helps you build confidence when you're out in the home, city, or in any public place. Next, let's imagine a scenario where Lisa, a university student, meets her friend Jack after class. They're both heading to the local park to relax. Lisa. Hey Jack, how was your class today? Jack. It was good, but a bit long. We had to read 2 chapters of a new book. Lisa. That sounds like a lot of work. I have to read that. Book 2, but I haven't started yet. Jack. It's not too bad. The story is interesting. You should start reading it tonight. Lisa. I think I will. After the park, we should grab some coffee. What do you think? Jack. Sounds perfect. I'm definitely in. This type of conversation is very common among friends or classmates. We talk about how our day was, share plans for the evening, and suggest things we can do together. These are simple sentences, but they're very useful in everyday life. You can use similar phrases when meeting up with friends or making plans with people. Now let's move to a conversation between 2 coworkers, Mark and Rachel, during their lunch break. They're sitting at a small table in the office kitchen. Rachel. Mark, did you see the email about the new project? Mark. Yes, I did. It looks like a big task, but it should be interesting. Rachel. I agree. I'm excited to work on it. Do you know who's leading the team? Mark. I think David is in charge. He's been talking about this project for weeks. Rachel. That makes sense. He always has so many ideas. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. Mark. Me too. I think we'll all learn a lot from it. Here, we see a typical conversation between coworkers. They discuss work tasks and upcoming projects. It's friendly but professional. This kind of conversation happens all the time in the workplace, so practicing it will help you when you're talking with colleagues or during business meetings. Next, let's move to a family situation. Sarah and her husband Daniel are at home having dinner after a busy day. Sarah. Dinner is ready. It's your favorite, spaghetti and meatballs. Daniel. That smells amazing, Sarah. I'm so hungry. Sarah. I hope you're ready to eat because I made a lot. How was your day? Daniel. It was okay. Busy, but I got a lot done. How about you? Sarah. Same here. I had meetings all day. It's nice to sit down and relax now. Daniel. I agree. After dinner, we should watch a movie or just talk for a while. Sarah. That sounds great. Let's enjoy the evening. This conversation shows a typical exchange between a married couple at home. It's relaxed and comfortable. We can learn useful phrases like "How was your day?" and "I made a lot" when talking about meals and daily routines. Practicing these simple conversations helps you sound more natural in everyday talks. Now, let's move to another story about Emma. She's a stay-at-home mom who enjoys gardening. One afternoon, she's outside tending to her garden when her friend, Mary, stops by. Mary. Wow, Emma, your garden looks beautiful. How do you keep it looking so nice? Emma. Thank you, Mary. I spend a lot of time in the garden. I try to water the plants every day. Mary. It definitely shows. I've been meaning to start my own garden. Any tips for beginners? Emma. I'd recommend starting with flowers that are easy to take care of, like daisies. And don't forget to check the soil. Mary. Good advice. I'll visit the garden store this weekend and get some supplies. Emma, let me know if you need help. I can show you how to plant them. In this conversation, Emma and Mary talk about gardening, which is a common topic for people who enjoy outdoor hobbies. Notice how Emma uses simple language to explain gardening tips and offer help. You can use similar conversations when talking about hobbies, sharing knowledge, or giving advice. Next, let's hear a conversation between two neighbors, Peter and Susan, as they walk their dogs in the park. Peter: Hi Susan, how are you today? Susan: I'm good, thanks. Just walking my dog, Max. How about you? Peter: I'm doing great. I'm just out with Bella, she loves the park. Susan: Max is the same way, he's always excited when we come here. Peter: It's nice to have a peaceful place to walk. Do you come here often? Susan: Yes, almost every day. It's good exercise for both of us. Peter: I agree. I try to come at least 3 times a week. It's a good way to stay active. This conversation happens in a casual setting between neighbors who run into each other while walking their dogs. It's a simple, friendly exchange, and you can use similar phrases when talking to neighbors or people you meet in public places. Practicing these sentences helps you build confidence in speaking casually and making small talk. Now let's move on to a conversation between two old friends, Alice and Robert. They haven't seen each other in a long time, but they finally run into each other at the grocery store. Alice: Robert, is that you? Robert: Alice, it's been so long, how have you been? Alice: I've been doing well. Just busy with work and family. How about you? Robert: Same here. Life has been busy. I'm just picking up a few things for dinner. What about you? Alice: I'm doing the same. It's funny running into you here. Robert: Yeah, I haven't seen you in years. We should catch up soon. Let's grab coffee next week. Alice: That sounds great. I'll text you and we'll set a time. This conversation between old friends shows how people reconnect after a long time. It's simple and warm, and it helps you learn useful phrases for greeting old friends and making plans to meet up again. Practicing these sentences will help you sound friendly and confident in similar situations. Now let's take a look at another casual conversation. This time between two students, Ben and Lucy, who are studying together in the library. Ben: Hey Lucy, do you understand this chapter? Lucy: Not really. It's a bit confusing. The numbers don't make sense to me. Ben: Yeah, me too. I think we need to look at the examples in the back of the book. Lucy: That might help. Let's take a break and look at them together. Ben: Good idea. I need some water anyway. This conversation is about studying and figuring out difficult material. It's a great example of how to talk about school subjects and study challenges. The key phrases like, "Do you understand?" and "Let's take a break" are useful when you're studying with classmates or friends. These conversations have covered a lot of ground, from shopping and work to hobbies and study. Each of them uses real-life English that you'll hear in daily situations. You can practice them at home, with friends, or even when you're out and about. All right, let's dive deeper into even more everyday conversations that will help you sound natural when speaking English. The more you practice, the better you'll become at understanding and using English in real-life situations. In this section, we will cover a wide variety of topics, from family life to travel and work situations. These stories will not only help you improve your listening skills, but also give you practical examples of how to use English in different contexts. Let's start with a conversation between a couple, Sarah and John, who are planning a family trip. They've been talking about going on vacation for a while, and today they finally sit down to discuss the details. Sarah: John, have you decided where we should go for our vacation this year? John, I've been thinking about it. How about we go to the beach? We haven't been in years. Sarah, that sounds wonderful. We could go to Florida. The weather is great and there are plenty of family-friendly activities. John, I agree. Florida would be perfect. We could visit Disney World too. The kids would love that. Sarah, yes, they would be so excited. I'll check flights and hotels later today. We should book it soon. John, let me know if this conversation is a typical planning session between a couple. They discuss their vacation destination, activities, and how to divide the responsibilities. It's a relaxed but important conversation that shows how you can talk about future plans and share responsibilities. The phrases they use, like, have you decided, and we should book it soon, are great for making plans with family or friends. Now let's move on to a conversation between two friends, David and Emma, who are meeting for lunch. They haven't seen each other in a while, and today is the perfect time to catch up. David, Emma, it's been so long since we last met. How have you been? Emma, I know, it feels like forever. I've been doing well, just busy with work and taking care of the kids. How about you? David, same here. Work has been crazy, but I'm finally getting a break. I needed this lunch today. Emma, I'm so glad we could meet up. We should do it more often. How's your family? David, they're doing great. My wife and kids are all good. They send their love. Emma, please tell them I said hi. We should plan a weekend get-together soon. Kids would love to play together. In this conversation, David and Emma share updates on their lives. They talk about family, work, and plans to meet again. This is a casual conversation that you can use when catching up with friends or family members after a period of time. Phrases like, it's been so long, and how's your family, are useful when you want to reconnect with someone. Let's now imagine a conversation between two co-workers, Rachel and James, who are having a coffee break in the office kitchen. Rachel, James, did you hear about the new project we're starting next month? James, yes, I did. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for the team. Rachel, I agree. It's going to be challenging, but I'm looking forward to working on something new. James, absolutely, I'll need some extra help with the research part. Do you think you could assist me? Rachel, of course, I'd be happy to help. Let me know what you need from me. James, thanks Rachel, I really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll do great together. This conversation between Rachel and James is about work, but it's also friendly and supportive. They talk about a new project and how they can work together. This kind of conversation is helpful in any workplace, especially when collaborating with coworkers. Phrases like, did you hear about, and I'd be happy to help are perfect for creating a cooperative and positive atmosphere in a work setting. Now let's hear a story about a father, Mark, who is helping his son Jake with his school homework. They're sitting at the kitchen table working together. Mark, Jake, what's the problem with this math problem? You seem frustrated. Jake, I don't get it, Dad. How do I solve this equation? Mark, let's look at it together. First, you need to move the numbers around. Try to add this part first. Jake, okay, I think I understand now. Thanks for helping me, Dad. Mark, no problem, son. That's what I'm here for. Keep practicing, and it'll get easier. This conversation between Mark and Jake is a great example of a parent helping a child with schoolwork. It's a common situation in many families, and it's a helpful conversation to practice. Phrases like, what's the problem? And try to add this part first are useful for teaching or explaining things in simple terms. Next, Lucy and Olivia, who are chatting in the front yard. Lucy has just finished mowing. her lawn, and Olivia walks over to talk to her. Olivia. Hey Lucy, your lawn looks amazing. How do you keep it so neat? Lucy. Thanks, Olivia. I mow it every week and make sure I water it regularly. It takes a little time, but it's worth it. Olivia. I agree. I've been meaning to take care of my lawn, but I keep putting it off. Lucy. It's not too hard once you get started. I can show you how to mow it properly if you want. Olivia. That would be great. I'll come over this weekend. And we can do it together. This conversation is a nice example of how neighbors can help each other. Lucy offers to teach Olivia how to mow the lawn, which is a simple but meaningful way to share knowledge. If you want to build relationships with people in your neighborhood, practicing phrases like, "How do you keep it so neat?" and "I can show you how" will be very helpful. Let's move to a conversation about a trip to the grocery store. Anna is shopping for ingredients for dinner, and she runs into her friend Ben in the store. Anna. Hi Ben, what are you buying today? Ben. Hey Anna, I'm picking up some vegetables for dinner. I'm making a stir-fry tonight. Anna. That sounds delicious. I'm just getting some chicken for a roast. Ben. Nice. Do you need any help picking out vegetables? Anna. Thanks, but I think I've got it. I'm just grabbing some carrots and broccoli. I'll see you later. Ben. All right, enjoy your dinner. See you soon. This conversation shows how people talk when they run into each other while shopping. It's friendly and simple, using everyday phrases like, "What are you buying?" and "I'll see you later." These kinds of conversations happen often when you're out in public, whether it's at the store or at a park. Next, let's hear from a couple, Peter and Laura, who are discussing their plans for the weekend. They both work during the week and look forward to relaxing on the weekend. Peter. Laura, what do you think about going to the lake this Saturday? Laura. That sounds great. I've been wanting to get out of the city for a while. Peter. We could rent a boat and spend the day on the water. It would be so relaxing. Laura. I love that idea. I'll pack some snacks and we can make a day of it. Peter. Perfect. Let's do it. I'll check the weather and make sure it's a good day for a trip. This conversation shows a couple making plans for the weekend. It's a relaxed conversation and it uses simple phrases like, "What do you think about?" and "I'll pack some snacks." It's easy to practice and very useful when making plans with others. Now let's imagine a conversation between two friends, Jack and Helen, who are discussing their plans for a holiday party. Jack. Helen, are you coming to the holiday party at Sarah's house? Helen. Of course. I wouldn't miss it. What should I bring? Jack. Sarah asked everyone to bring a dish. I'm making my famous lasagna. What about you? Helen. I'll bring a salad. Something healthy to balance out all the heavy food. Jack. Good idea. I'm sure everyone will love it. I can't wait to see everyone there. Helen. Me. Too. It's going to be so much fun. This conversation is a typical example of how friends talk when making plans for a party or gathering. They discuss what to bring and share their excitement for the event. Phrases like, "What should I bring?" and "I'm sure everyone will love it" are useful for planning events with friends or family. These conversations cover a wide range of everyday situations, from family trips to work discussions and casual meetups with friends. The more you practice these types of dialogues, the more confident you'll become in speaking English. You can start using these phrases in your own life, whether you're at home, at work, or out with friends. Let me know when you're ready for more. Let's continue with even more real-life conversations to help you improve your English listening and speaking skills. These scenarios will give you the chance to practice practical vocabulary and phrases that you can use in your day-to-day life. From discussing hobbies to handling situations at work or even talking to your neighbors, these conversations will help you sound more confident and natural in English. First, let's join two friends, Michael and Lisa, as they're catching up at a cafe. They haven't met in a while and are eager to chat about what's been going on in their lives. Michael: Lisa, it's been too long. How have you been? Lisa: I know, it feels like forever. I've been good, just busy with work. What about you? Michael: Same here. I've been working a lot lately, but I'm glad we could finally meet up today. Lisa: Me too. It's nice to take a break. So, what's new with you? Any exciting plans? Michael: Well, I've been thinking about taking a cooking class. I love trying new recipes, and I thought it would be fun to learn some new techniques. Lisa: That sounds amazing. I've always wanted to take a class like that. I think I'd like to learn how to bake bread. Have you tried baking? Michael: Not yet, but I'd love to. Maybe we should sign up for a class together. Lisa: That's a great idea. Let's do it. This conversation between Michael and Lisa is an excellent example of how you can talk about new interests and activities with friends. They discuss their hobbies, make plans to do something together, and share their excitement about learning something new. The key phrases here are, how have you been? And what about you? These are great ways to start a conversation when catching up with someone. Now, let's take a look at a conversation between a father, David, and his teenage daughter, Emily. They're having a discussion about Emily's upcoming school project. David: Emily, how's your school project going? Are you ready to present it next week? Emily: I'm almost done, but I still have a few things to add. It's been a lot of work, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. David: That's great. What's the project about? Emily: It's about the environment. I'm focusing on recycling and how it can help reduce waste. It's been really interesting to research. David: Sounds like a very important topic. Do you need any help with the presentation? I could help you practice. Emily: Thanks, Dad. That would be great. I always feel a little nervous before speaking in front of the class. David: I understand. We can go over it together and I'm sure you'll do great. You've worked hard on it. This conversation shows how a parent can help their child with schoolwork, especially when it involves presenting in front of a class. David and Emily talk about the project, share thoughts, and offer help to each other. The phrases, how's your school project going? And do you need any help? Are great for offering support in academic situations. Next, we'll join two colleagues, Laura and Tom, as they're discussing an upcoming work event. They both work at the same office and are responsible for organizing the event. Laura: Tom, have you thought about the schedule for the event next week? Tom: Yes. I was planning to start with the keynote speaker in the morning and then have some breakout sessions in the afternoon. Laura: Sounds like a good plan. Do you think we should provide lunch for the attendees? Tom: Definitely. It's going to be a long day, so we should arrange something for everyone. I'll contact the caterers. Laura: Great. I'll take care of the decorations and make sure everything looks nice. We want the event to feel welcoming. Tom: Perfect. I'll send out the invitations tomorrow. Once they confirm, we'll have everything ready. Laura: I'm sure it will be a success. Let's meet up tomorrow to finalize the details. This conversation between Laura and Tom is an excellent example of how people in a work environment talk when organizing an event. They discuss the schedule, food, and other details that are important for making the event run smoothly. Phrases like, have you thought about, and I'll take care of, are very useful when coordinating tasks with a colleague. Now let's listen to a conversation between two neighbors, Daniel and Kate, who are talking about their Plans for the upcoming weekend. Daniel. Hey, Kate. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Kate. Not much. I was thinking about staying at home and getting some things done. What about you? Daniel. I'm going to the farmer's market on Saturday morning. I've heard there's going to be a lot of fresh produce this week. Kate. That sounds like fun. I love going to the farmer's market. I'll join you. Maybe we can grab coffee afterward. Daniel? Great idea. Let's meet at 9 a.m. I'll save you a spot at the market. Kate. Perfect. I'll see you there. This conversation shows how neighbors can make casual plans together. Daniel invites Kate to join him at the farmer's market, and they set up a time to meet. The phrases, "Do you have any plans?" and "I'll join you" are useful when you want to make plans with someone in your community. Let's now join a conversation between two friends, Ben and Sophie, who are talking about their recent vacation. They're sitting in a cafe sharing their travel stories. Ben. Sophie, I can't believe you went to Spain last month. How was it? Sophie. It was amazing. The food, the sights, everything was perfect. I spent a lot of time exploring Barcelona. Ben. That sounds incredible. What was your favorite part of the trip? Sophie. Definitely the beach. I spent hours just relaxing by the sea. It was so peaceful. Ben. I'm jealous. I haven't been to a beach in years. I need to plan a trip soon. Sophie. You should. It's the best way to unwind. I can recommend some great places in Spain if you're interested. This conversation is a great example of how friends share their travel experiences. Sophie talks about her trip to Spain, and Ben expresses interest in going on his own trip. The key phrases here, like, "How was it?" and "I need to plan a trip soon," are useful for discussing travel plans and experiences with friends. Next, let's listen to a conversation between a husband, Tom, and his wife, Alice, who are discussing their plans to buy a new car. Tom. Alice, I think it's time we get a new car. The old one is starting to give us too many problems. Alice. I agree. We've had it for years and it's not as reliable as it used to be. What kind of car do you have in mind? Tom. I was thinking about getting a sedan, something comfortable for the family. What do you think? Alice. That sounds good. I want something that has good gas mileage too. We should look for something practical. Tom. I'll start researching some options. Let's go to a dealership this weekend and see what they have. This conversation between Tom and Alice is a great example of how a couple can discuss important decisions together. They talk about their needs, preferences, and the steps they'll take to buy a new car. The phrases, "What kind of car do you have in mind?" and "I'll start researching" are practical for decision-making situations. Now, let's hear a conversation between two friends, Mark and Susan, who are discussing their weekend plans. Mark. Susan, are you doing anything fun this weekend? Susan. Not really. I was thinking about catching up on some reading. How about you? Mark. I'm going hiking with some friends. We're going to the mountains on Saturday morning. Susan. That sounds great. I've been wanting to get outdoors more. Maybe I'll join you next time. Mark. You should. It's always fun to hike and enjoy the fresh air. Let me know if you want to come along next time. This conversation is a simple and friendly way to talk about plans with friends. Mark invites Susan to join the hiking trip, and they discuss outdoor activities. Phrases like, "Are you doing anything fun?" and "Maybe I'll join you next time" are useful for inviting someone to join an activity. Lastly, let's join a conversation between a couple, Sarah and William, who are discussing their weekend date night. Sarah. William, what should we do for date night this weekend? William, how about we go out for dinner at that new restaurant in town? I've heard good things about it. Sarah, that sounds perfect. I've been wanting to try it. Do you think we should make a reservation? William, yes, it's probably a good idea. I'll call and book a table for us. Sarah, thanks. I can't wait. It will be nice to have a quiet evening together. This conversation shows how a couple plans a special date night. Sarah and William discuss where to go for dinner and how to plan the evening. The phrases, "What should we do for date night?" and "I can't wait" are great for making plans with your partner. These conversations have covered a wide variety of everyday situations, from casual get-togethers with friends to making important decisions with family members. They are designed to give you practice in many different areas of life. Whether you're talking to a coworker, planning a trip, or just catching up with a friend, these conversations will help you sound more natural and confident when speaking English. Keep practicing. All right, let's continue. We've already covered a lot of useful conversations, and now it's time to dive into even more practical and relatable examples that will help you improve your listening and speaking skills. We're going to hear more stories from everyday situations. Whether you're chatting with your neighbors, making plans with friends, or even discussing some important decisions with your family, these conversations are designed to help you build your confidence when using English in real-life scenarios. Let's start with a conversation between two coworkers, Emma and John, who are discussing their plans for an upcoming team project at work. Emma, John, have you thought about how we're going to approach this project? I think we should start by dividing the tasks. John, I agree. We can each take on different parts of the project. Maybe you could work on the research and I can handle the presentation? Emma, that works for me. I'll gather the information and we can meet to discuss it later in the week. John, great. I'll start putting together the slides for the presentation. We should have it ready by the end of the week. Emma, sounds good. Let's plan a meeting on Friday to check our progress. John, perfect. I'm confident we'll get this done on time. This conversation between Emma and John shows how coworkers discuss teamwork and organize tasks for a project. It's an excellent example of professional communication. Phrases like, "Have you thought about?" and "Let's plan a meeting" are useful in any work setting when organizing tasks and making sure everyone is on track. Now, let's hear a conversation between two friends, Rachel and Chris, who are talking about their recent vacation experiences. They are excited to share their stories with each other. Rachel, Chris, I just came back from my trip to Italy. It was such a great experience. I can't wait to tell you all about it. Chris, that sounds amazing. What was the best part of your trip? Rachel, definitely the food. I had the best pizza in Naples. I also visited the Colosseum in Rome, and the history there was incredible. Chris, I've always wanted to go to Italy. What else did you do? Rachel, I spent a few days in Venice too. The canals were beautiful, and I took a gondola ride. It felt like I was in a movie. Chris, that sounds so romantic. I need to add Venice to my travel list. Rachel, you should. I highly recommend it. This conversation between Rachel and Chris is a great example of how friends share travel experiences. Rachel is excited about her trip to Italy, and Chris expresses interest in visiting some of the same places. The phrases, "What was the best part?" and "I highly recommend it" are useful when discussing travel with friends. Let's now listen to a conversation between a father, David, and his teenage son, Lucas. They're talking about Lucas's plans for the summer holidays. David, Lucas, do you have any plans for the summer break yet? Lucas, I was thinking about taking a short trip with my friends. We want to go camping in the mountains. David, that sounds like a great idea. Do you need any help preparing for the trip? Lucas, I'm planning to do some research on the best spots, but I might need your help with the camping gear. David, of course. I can help you pick out a good tent and some other supplies. It's important to be prepared when you go camping. Lucas, Thanks, Dad. I'm really looking forward to it. This conversation shows how a father and son can talk about summer plans and how the father offers his help with preparing for the trip. The phrases, "Do you have any plans?" and "I can help you pick out," are useful when talking about activities and offering help to others. Next, let's join two friends, Jack and Olivia, as they're discussing their plans for an upcoming weekend party. They are excited to make sure everything is ready for the event. Jack: Olivia, are you ready for the party on Saturday? I think we should get everything set up in the afternoon. Olivia: I'm excited. I'll bring some snacks and drinks. What about decorations? Do you need any help with that? Jack: I've already got the decorations. We just need to make sure the music is ready to go. Olivia: Sounds good. I'll set up the snacks and drinks. Maybe we should also have a small game or activity to keep people entertained. Jack: That's a great idea. I'll bring some board games. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This conversation between Jack and Olivia is a great example of how friends plan a party and work together to make sure everything is ready. The phrases, "Are you ready for?" and "What about decorations?" are useful for organizing events with friends. Now let's join a couple, Harry and Sarah, who are discussing their plans for a family dinner. They are making sure everything is ready for the guests. Harry: Sarah, have you decided what to cook for the family dinner on Sunday? Sarah: I was thinking of making roast chicken and mashed potatoes. It's simple, but everyone loves it. Harry: Sounds delicious. Should we invite your brother and his family too? Sarah: That's a great idea. I'll call them and see if they're free. Harry: Perfect. I'll make sure to pick up some wine and dessert. It'll be a great evening. Sarah: I agree. I'm looking forward to it. This conversation between Harry and Sarah shows how a couple plans a family gathering. They discuss the menu, invite guests, and make sure everything is prepared. Phrases like, "Have you decided what to cook?" and "I'll make sure to pick up" are helpful when planning meals and inviting guests. Let's take a look now at a conversation between two co-workers, Lily and Daniel, who are discussing their upcoming presentation at work. Lily: Daniel, do you feel ready for the presentation tomorrow? I think we've covered everything. Daniel: I feel prepared, but I'm a little nervous about speaking in front of everyone. Lily: It's totally normal to feel that way. Just remember, we've worked hard on this and the audience will be interested in what we have to say. Daniel: You're right. I'll focus on the points we've discussed and I'm sure it'll go smoothly. Lily: That's the spirit. If you need any help during the presentation, I'll be right there with you. Daniel: Thanks, Lily. I really appreciate your support. This conversation between Lily and Daniel is a great example of how coworkers can support each other before a big presentation. They talk about their preparation and offer reassurance. The phrases, "Do you feel ready?" and "I'll be right there with you" are useful for offering support and working together in the workplace. Next, let's listen to a conversation between a husband, Mark, and his wife, Emily, who are discussing their plans for the weekend. Mark: Emily, what should we do this weekend? I was thinking about going for a hike. Emily: I love that idea. I've been wanting to get outdoors more. Where do you want to go? Mark: How about we drive to the national park? It's only a short drive and we can spend the whole day there. Emily: That sounds perfect. I'll pack some snacks and drinks for the trip. Mark: Great. I'll take care of the maps and make sure we have everything we need. Emily: Thanks, Mark. I'm really looking forward to it. This conversation shows how a couple makes plans to go on a hiking trip together. They discuss where to go, what to bring, and get excited about spending the day outdoors. The phrases, "What should we do this weekend?" And I'll pack some snacks are great for making plans with your partner. Now, let's join two friends, Tom and Rachel, as they're talking about their plans for the weekend. Tom. Rachel, what's your plan for the weekend? Rachel. I'm going to visit my family. I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm really looking forward to it. Tom. That sounds nice. Are you going anywhere special? Rachel. We're just having a family dinner at my parents' house. It's going to be great to catch up with everyone. Tom. I'm sure it will be fun. I'll probably spend the weekend relaxing at home. Rachel. That sounds nice too. We can hang out next weekend. This conversation is a great example of how friends talk about their weekend plans. Rachel talks about visiting her family, and Tom talks about relaxing at home. Phrases like, let's continue with more practical, everyday conversations that will help you practice and improve your English skills. These conversations cover a wide variety of situations, and by listening to them, you'll get a better sense of how English is used in different contexts. Whether you're planning a family event, discussing weekend activities, or simply chatting with friends, the examples below are all about using real, everyday English. Let's start with a conversation between two neighbors, Sarah and John, who are talking about their upcoming neighborhood barbecue. Sarah. John, are you coming to the barbecue this Saturday? John. Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it. Are you bringing anything special? Sarah. I'm making my famous potato salad. Everyone loves it. How about you? John. I'll bring some grilled chicken. I know a great recipe that everyone enjoys. Sarah. That sounds perfect. We'll have a good variety of food. What time do you think we should start? John. How about 3 p.m.? That way we can enjoy the afternoon and have plenty of time to relax. Sarah. Sounds great. I'll make sure to bring enough drinks for everyone. John. Perfect. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. In this conversation, Sarah and John are talking about a neighborhood barbecue and making sure they have enough food and drinks. This type of casual conversation is something you might have when making plans with neighbors or friends. You can learn how to ask about what others are bringing, discuss timing, and make sure everyone has a good time. Useful phrases like, are you bringing anything special? And, what time do you think we should start? Will help you organize social events in English. Now let's listen to a conversation between two friends, Jack and Olivia, who are talking about their weekend plans. They are making plans to go on a hike. Jack. Olivia, do you want to go hiking with me this weekend? I found a nice trail nearby. Olivia. That sounds great. I've been wanting to go hiking for a while. Where's the trail? Jack. It's about an hour's drive from here. It's in the mountains, and the view is supposed to be amazing. Olivia. I love mountain hikes. What time are we leaving? Jack. I was thinking we could leave around 8 a.m. That way we'll have plenty of time to enjoy the hike and maybe have lunch after. Olivia. Perfect. I'll pack some snacks and drinks for us. Do you want me to bring anything else? Jack. Maybe bring a camera so we can take some pictures. I'm sure the views will be incredible. Olivia. Good idea. I'll bring my camera. In this conversation, Jack and Olivia are making plans to go on a hike. They discuss the location, timing, and what to bring. If you're someone who enjoys outdoor activities or making plans with friends, you can use the phrases, do you want to go hiking, and what time are we leaving, in similar situations. These are simple yet useful phrases for making plans with others. Let's take a look now at a conversation between a husband, Michael, and his wife Emma as they discuss their plans for their anniversary. Michael. Emma, what do you want to do for our anniversary next month? Emma. I don't know, Michael. I was thinking it might be nice to go on a weekend getaway. Just the two of us. Michael. That sounds wonderful. Do you have a place in mind? Emma. I was thinking of a cozy cabin in the mountains. It's peaceful and we can just relax and enjoy nature. Michael, I love that idea. Let's look for some options online and book something soon. Emma, great, I'll start researching cabins. We should make sure to find one with a fireplace. It'll be nice to sit by the fire in the evening. Michael, I agree. I'm really looking forward to it. In this conversation, Michael and Emma are discussing their plans for a special anniversary weekend getaway. They are deciding on the destination and what kind of accommodations they would like. The phrases, "What do you want to do for our anniversary?" and "Let's look for some options" are useful when making plans for important events like anniversaries or special celebrations. Now let's move on to a conversation between two colleagues, Sarah and Ben, who are discussing their upcoming team meeting. Sarah, Ben, do you know what time the meeting is scheduled for tomorrow? Ben, it's at 10 a.m. We need to make sure everything is ready before then. Sarah, got it. I'm going to review the agenda now. Do you want to take care of the presentation slides? Ben, sure. I've already started working on them. I'll make sure to include the key points we need to cover. Sarah, perfect. I'll also check with the team to see if anyone has additional points to add. Ben, great idea. We want to make sure everyone has a chance to speak up during the meeting. Sarah, exactly. It's going to be a productive session. This conversation between Sarah and Ben shows how colleagues can prepare for a team meeting. They discuss the schedule, tasks, and how to make sure everyone is ready for the meeting. The phrases, "Do you know what time the meeting is?" and "I'll check with the team" are useful for organizing work-related events and ensuring everything goes smoothly. Next, we have a conversation between two friends, Lisa and Tom, who are talking about a new restaurant in town that they want to try. Lisa, Tom, have you heard about that new restaurant on Main Street? I heard the food is amazing. Tom, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've been meaning to check it out. Do you want to go there this weekend? Lisa, I'd love to. How about Saturday evening? Tom, sounds good. I'll make a reservation for us. I don't want to risk it being too crowded. Lisa, good idea. I'll check out the menu online and see what looks good. Tom, I'm sure everything will be delicious. I can't wait to try it. In this conversation, Lisa and Tom are planning to try a new restaurant. They discuss when to go, the importance of making a reservation, and looking at the menu beforehand. The phrases, "Have you heard about that new restaurant?" and "I'll make a reservation for us," are helpful for planning social events like going out to eat with friends. Let's now look at a conversation between a father, Robert, and his son, Jack, who are talking about a new video game that Jack wants to buy. Jack, Dad, I've been saving up for this new video game. Can I buy it this weekend? Robert, what game is it? Is it something you've been wanting for a long time? Jack, yes, it's a strategy game I've been following for months. I think it's finally available now. Robert, all right, I'll take a look at it. But make sure you save some money for other things too, like school supplies. Jack, I know, Dad, I've already set aside some for that. I just really want to get this game. Robert, okay, as long as you're being responsible with your money, I'll help you get it. This conversation shows how a father and son talk about money and making responsible decisions. Jack wants to buy a new video game, and Robert wants to make sure Jack is being sensible with his finances. Useful phrases like, "Can I buy it this weekend?" and "I'll help you get it," are helpful for similar conversations about budgeting and making purchases. Let's now join a conversation between two coworkers, Alice and Robert, who are discussing their lunch plans. Alice, Robert, do you want to grab lunch together today? Robert, sure. I was thinking of going to that new cafe down the street. Have you been there yet? Alice. Yes, I went there last week. The sandwiches are really good. I think you'll like it. Robert. Sounds great. What time do you want to go? Alice. How about 12:30? That gives us enough time to enjoy lunch without rushing. Robert. Perfect. I'll meet you there. In this conversation, Alice and Robert are making plans to go out for lunch. They discuss the location and the timing. These types of everyday conversations are great for practicing how to make plans with coworkers or friends. The phrases, do you want to grab lunch? And what time do you want to go? Are useful and casual. Let's dive deeper into real-life situations where you can practice and improve your English through conversations that are natural and easy to understand. These conversations are designed to help you in various everyday scenarios, whether you're at work, with friends, or at home. By listening to them, you'll not only improve your English listening skills, but also learn how to speak more confidently in similar situations. Let's start with a conversation between a husband, Richard, and his wife, Sophie, as they discuss their plans for the weekend. Richard. Sophie, do you want to do something fun this weekend? Maybe a day trip somewhere? Sophie. That sounds like a good idea. Where do you want to go? Richard. I was thinking we could drive to the beach. We haven't been there in a while and it would be nice to relax by the water. Sophie. I love that idea. I'll pack a picnic for us. We can enjoy the sun and have some food together. Richard. Perfect. I'll get the cooler ready with drinks and snacks. What time should we leave? Sophie. How about 9 a.m.? That way we can avoid traffic and have a full day at the beach. Richard. Sounds great. I'll make sure the car is ready, and we'll leave right on time. In this conversation, Richard and Sophie are making plans for a relaxing weekend getaway. They discuss where to go, what to bring, and how to make the most of their time. The phrases, do you want to do something fun this weekend? And what time should we leave? Are practical questions you can use in your own plans with friends or family. They help set expectations and ensure everyone is on the same page when making plans. Next, let's look at a conversation between two colleagues, Jack and Emma, who are discussing a project at work. Jack. Emma, how's the project going? Do you need any help with anything? Emma. I think I'm almost done with my part, but I'm having trouble with the presentation slides. Could you take a look at them? Jack. Sure, I'd be happy to help. Let me take a look. What do you need to change? Emma. I'm not sure about the layout. I want to make it look more professional. Any ideas? Jack. I can suggest a few design improvements. I think it would help if we used a cleaner font and a simple color scheme. Also, make sure the text isn't too small. Emma. Good suggestions. I'll try that. Thanks for your help, Jack. You always have great ideas. In this conversation, Jack and Emma are talking about work-related tasks. They discuss how to improve a project and how they can help each other. This type of conversation is very useful for workplace settings, where you might need to collaborate with colleagues. The phrases, do you need any help with anything? And, I think it would help if we used, are great for offering assistance and making suggestions. Let's move on to a conversation between a friend, Lucy, and her husband, Daniel, as they talk about their plans for a family gathering. Lucy. Daniel, have you spoken to your sister about the family reunion next month? Daniel. Yes, I just spoke to her this morning. She said they're coming on the 15th, so we'll need to make sure everything is ready. Lucy. Great, I'll start preparing the guest list and organize the food. Should we have it at our place or your parents' house? Daniel. I think our house will be better. It's bigger, and we have more space for everyone. Plus, we can set up the backyard for the kids to play. Lucy. Good idea. I'll start planning the menu and figure out what we'll need to buy. We should also get some games for the kids to keep them entertained. Daniel? Definitely. I'll take care of the drinks and make sure we have enough chairs and tables for everyone. Lucy? Perfect. I'll get started on everything else, and we'll make sure it's a fun day for everyone. In this conversation, Lucy and Daniel are discussing the details of a family reunion. They talk about the location, the food, and how to make the event enjoyable for all the guests, including the children. If you're ever planning a family event or party, phrases like "should we have it at our place?" and "I'll start planning the menu" will help you organize your own gatherings. This conversation is full of practical vocabulary for making arrangements and being responsible for different aspects of an event. Now, let's hear a conversation between two roommates, Ben and Alice, as they discuss their plans to redecorate their apartment. Ben: Alice, have you thought about how we're going to redecorate the living room? Alice: Yes, I was thinking of changing the color of the walls. Maybe a light blue or soft gray. What do you think? Ben: I like those ideas. I think a soft gray would look nice with the furniture we already have. Alice: I agree. We could also buy new curtains. The ones we have now are a little too dark for the room. Ben: That's a good point. I'll start looking for some new curtains online. Do you want to get new rugs too? Alice: I think a new rug would really tie the room together. We should get something light and neutral to match the walls. Ben: I'll check out some options this weekend. I think we're going to love the new look. In this conversation, Ben and Alice are planning to redecorate their apartment. They discuss the colors, furniture, and other elements they want to change. This conversation is helpful for anyone who is thinking about making changes to their living space. The phrases, "have you thought about?" and "what do you think?" are useful for discussing home improvement ideas and making decisions with others. Let's take a look at a conversation between two siblings, Tom and Lucy, who are discussing what to buy their parents for their anniversary. Tom: Lucy, do you know what we should get Mom and Dad for their anniversary? I want to get them something special. Lucy: I've been thinking about that too. I know they love to travel, so maybe we could get them a gift card for a weekend getaway. Tom: That's a great idea. Do you think they'd like that? Lucy: I think they would love it. It would give them a chance to relax and enjoy some time away from everything. Tom: I'll look into some options for nice places to stay. Maybe we can even surprise them with a weekend trip. Lucy: I love that idea. Let's work together on this. We can make it really special for them. In this conversation, Tom and Lucy are making plans to buy their parents a special anniversary gift. They discuss different gift ideas and work together to come up with the best option. If you ever find yourself choosing a gift for someone, you can use phrases like, "Do you know what we should get?" and "What do you think?" to brainstorm ideas and come to a decision. Let's now listen to a conversation between two friends, Sarah and John, who are talking about their plans to visit a museum. Sarah: John, have you been to that new art museum downtown? I've heard it's really interesting. John: I haven't gone yet, but I'd love to. I've heard they have some amazing exhibits. Sarah: I've been wanting to go for a while. How about we check it out this Saturday? John: Sounds perfect. What time should we go? Sarah: Maybe in the afternoon around 2 p.m. That way we can take our time and enjoy the exhibits. John: Great idea. I'll meet you at 2 p.m. on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. In this conversation, Sarah and John are discussing their plans to visit an art museum. They talk about when to go and what to expect. This conversation is perfect for making plans with friends or family when visiting museums or other attractions. The phrases "have you been to?" and "what time should we go?" are great for organizing trips and ensuring everyone is on the same page. Let's start with a conversation between two friends, Jack and Emma, who are discussing how to spend their holiday. Jack. Emma, what are your plans for the holiday next month? Do you have any ideas yet? Emma. I've been thinking about it. I'd love to visit the mountains, maybe go hiking or just relax in a cabin. What about you? Jack. That sounds great. I was thinking of going on a road trip to the countryside. We could drive around and explore some new places. Emma. That's a fantastic idea. We could stop at some small towns and try local food. I've always wanted to do that. Jack. Let's do it. I'll start looking at routes and find some interesting spots to visit. Emma. I'll look for places to stay. Maybe we can find a cozy little guest house or something. It'll be fun to explore together. This conversation between Jack and Emma shows how friends make plans for their holiday. They discuss different ideas and make decisions to. Now let's move on to a conversation between a father, David, and his daughter, Lucy, as they talk about her school project. David. Lucy, how's your school project going? Do you need help with anything? Lucy. I'm almost done, but I'm having trouble with the research part. I don't know where to find more information. David. I can help with that. Have you checked the library? They have a lot of resources there. Lucy. I've looked there, but I think I need some online sources too. Can you show me how to find good websites for my project? David. Of course. I'll show you how to search for reliable websites. It's important to use trustworthy sources for your project. Lucy. Thanks, Dad. I really appreciate your help. I think I'll be able to finish it now. In this conversation, David and Lucy are talking about her school project. David offers help and guides Lucy on where to find information for her work. This conversation is perfect for discussing school-related tasks, asking for help, and offering support. Phrases like, "Do you need help with anything?" and "I'll show you how to search for reliable websites" are useful for academic situations. Next, let's look at a conversation between two colleagues, Sarah and Daniel, who are talking about their work schedules. Sarah. Daniel, do you have time to discuss the meeting we're having on Thursday? I want to go over a few things before then. Daniel. Sure, I'm free this afternoon. What do you need to go over? Sarah. I want to make sure the agenda is clear and that we have all the necessary materials ready. Do you think we need anything else? Daniel. I think we're good for now. I'll double-check the presentation slides and I'll be sure to have everything ready by Thursday. Sarah. Great. I'll send out the agenda to everyone and confirm the time. Thanks for your help, Daniel. In this conversation, Sarah and Daniel are making sure they are prepared for a meeting. They talk about the agenda, materials, and making sure everything is ready on time. This is a common workplace conversation where you discuss meeting details and confirm preparations. Phrases like, "Do you have time to discuss?" and "I'll double-check the presentation slides" are important for professional settings. Now let's hear a conversation between a husband, Peter, and his wife, Mary, who are discussing what to have for dinner. Peter. Mary, what do you feel like having for dinner tonight? I'm in the mood for something different. Mary. Maybe we can try something new. How about making pasta with a tomato sauce and some garlic bread? Peter. That sounds delicious. Do you need me to help with anything? Mary. Actually, yes. Can you chop the vegetables while I prepare the sauce? We'll make it together. Peter. Of course. I'll start chopping the onions and peppers. Let me know if you need anything else. Mary. Thanks, Peter. I'm excited to try this new recipe. In this conversation, Peter and Mary are making dinner plans. They discuss what to cook and how to divide the tasks. This type of conversation is useful for everyday situations at home. Phrases like, "What do you feel like having for dinner?" and "Can you chop the vegetables?" are common when making meals together. It's a great way to practice how to organize tasks in the kitchen. Let's look at another conversation. This time between two friends, Rachel and Olivia, who are discussing their weekend plans. Rachel: Olivia, do you want to go to the farmer's market with me this Saturday? I heard they're selling fresh fruits and vegetables. Olivia: that sounds fun. I've never been to that market before. What time are we going? Rachel: how about 10 a.m.? We can walk around, try some samples, and buy whatever we like. Olivia: I'm in. I've been wanting to cook with fresh ingredients, so this will be perfect. Rachel: great. I'll pick you up at 9:30 and we'll head there together. In this conversation, Rachel and Olivia are planning to visit a farmer's market. They discuss the time, what they will do there, and how they will get there. This is a typical conversation when planning a casual outing with a friend. Phrases like "what time are we going?" and "we can walk around, try some samples" are useful for making plans and discussing what to do together. Now, let's listen to a conversation between a mother, Jane, and her son, Jack, as they talk about his plans for the summer. Jane: Jack, have you thought about what you want to do this summer? Do you have any fun activities in mind? Jack: I was thinking of going to summer camp for a few weeks. They have a great program for hiking and outdoor adventures. Jane: that sounds like a lot of fun. I think it would be a great experience for you. Have you signed up yet? Jack: not yet, but I plan to. I just need to check with the camp about the dates and availability. Jane: let me know if you need help with anything. I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time at camp. In this conversation, Jane and Jack are talking about summer plans. They discuss Jack's interest in attending a summer camp and how he can get signed up. This conversation is helpful when talking about future plans and making decisions about activities. Phrases like "do you have any fun activities in mind?" and "have you signed up yet?" are great for planning summer vacations or other events. Finally, let's look at a conversation between two neighbors, Mark and Sarah, who are talking about their gardens. Mark: Sarah, your garden looks amazing this year. What's your secret? Sarah: thanks, Mark. I've been working hard on it. I planted a lot of flowers and added a new vegetable garden this spring. Mark: that sounds great. I've been thinking of starting my own vegetable garden. Any advice on what to plant first? Sarah: I'd suggest starting with something easy, like tomatoes or lettuce. They grow quickly and don't need too much attention. Mark: I'll give it a try. I'll start with tomatoes and see how it goes. Thanks for the advice. In this conversation, Mark and Sarah are talking about gardening. Sarah shares her gardening tips with Mark, who is interested in starting his own vegetable garden. This conversation is perfect for discussing hobbies and offering advice to others. Phrases like "what's your secret?" and "any advice on what to plant first?" are helpful for learning new skills and getting suggestions from others. Let's continue keeping things engaging with real-life situations. These conversations will not only help you improve your listening, but will also help you practice speaking English in everyday situations. By listening to these examples, you will be able to use the phrases and vocabulary in your own life. Let's start with a conversation between two colleagues, Alice and Ben, who are discussing a project they are working on. Alice: Ben, how's the project coming along? I know we have a tight deadline, so I wanted to check in with you. Ben: it's going well, Alice. I've made some good progress, but there's still a bit of work left to do. I'm focusing on the final presentation today. Alice: that's great. Do you need any help with the presentation slides, or is everything on track? Ben: actually, could you take a look at the design? I'm not sure if the colors and layout look good together. Alice: sure, I'll review them and let you know if anything needs to be changed. Let's make sure the slides are clear and easy to follow. Ben: thanks, I appreciate it. Once I finish with the slides, I'll start working on the speech. I want to be prepared for any questions. Alice. Sounds like a plan. I'll be here if you need any help with the speech as well. We'll get this done in no time. In this conversation, Alice and Ben are working together on a project. They're discussing the progress of the project, offering help, and making sure everything is on track for the deadline. This is a great conversation to listen to if you're in a work or school environment. Phrases like, "How's the project coming along?" and "Do you need any help?" are useful for checking in on a task and offering support. Now let's move on to a conversation between a brother and sister, Tom and Emily, as they discuss their weekend plans. Tom: Emily, do you have any plans for this weekend? I was thinking of going to the beach on Saturday. Emily: That sounds fun. I don't have anything planned yet, so I'd love to join you. What time are you going? Tom: How about 10 a.m.? We can spend the day there swimming and relaxing. It's been so hot lately, the beach will be perfect. Emily: That's a great idea. I'll pack a picnic lunch for us so we don't have to leave the beach for food. Tom: Perfect. I'll bring the beach towels and sunscreen. I'll make sure we're all set for the day. Emily: Sounds like we're going to have a great time. I can't wait to relax at the beach and enjoy the sunshine. In this conversation, Tom and Emily are planning a trip to the beach. They discuss the time, what they will bring, and how they will spend the day. This conversation is great for practicing how to make plans with friends or family. Phrases like, "What time are you going?" and